Well, hi, everyone. My name is Steve Feldman, and I'm from Feinberg Consulting. I'm real excited to have an opportunity to do a quick presentation and share with you. I am somebody who is in long-term recovery. It has been a great gift and honor to be able to be someone who has turned their passion into their career. I am excited to be able to work with people and share with people my experience and perspective. And my hope today is that I share some information that you might find useful and valuable. So I'm going to share my screen and go through a quick presentation. And I wish you all the best. So my name is Steve Feldman. As I said, I'm someone in long-term recovery. My passion is really helping individuals and families by providing educations, tools, inspiration to create meaningful recovery. I'm excited to be here today and to share this information. And like I said, maybe provide some perspective that you might find useful. So as we get started here, let's think about a vision for recovery. And when we're talking about recovery, recovery brings up a whole lot of different definitions. And for me, recovery is broader than just stopping a substance or being focused on a substance use disorder. Recovery is about recovering life and creating something special. So take a minute, think about for yourself what that vision looks like. Get clear. Some ideas may be sobriety, it may be health, happiness, purpose. There may be some things more specific that come to mind, but just be with that for a moment. Because the idea of creating a vision, of moving towards something, of creating something, of thinking about what's possible is a really important part of this process and this journey. So next, what are the components of a meaningful recovery? So components are distinctions needed to accomplish these things. Like, in other words, there is a formula that if this, then that. And the way that I like to break it down is first is a commitment and a vision. So the first slide, we talked about a vision. And to create that vision and have that vision happen, there's a certain commitment. We'll get into that a little bit more. Then there's education and information. That one is maybe easier for people because acquiring and inquiring and learning is something that is really important to this process. And really anything meaningful comes from having a solid foundation of education. And then it's creating a clear plan. And that plan is involved in the support of others. And then accountability to that plan. So let's break it down. And starting first with vision and commitment, or commitment and vision. In that first slide, we talked about what a vision looks like for you. And it's unique to everybody. And when we're talking about a vision, it could be individually, it could be for a family, or some group. But creating a personal vision or family statement is really important. Develop a clear shared commitment to recovery goals. So I'm first going to talk about a couple of analogies here. Imagine the GPS analogy, that where we currently are is like the starting location. That starting location is what we put into the GPS when we say we want to go somewhere. Because without having a good address at the beginning, it's hard to get to where we're going. That sounds simple, but a clear understanding of the current location is the beginning. And then what is the desired destination? It's not the desired destination forever, but it is one that we want to accomplish. How do we identify what that address? The space between those two things are the path of this plan and what it takes to get there. The other thing that I really believe is so important is looking at things through this idea of an environmental analogy. The environmental analogy is really kind of taking a look at the climate and what we want to grow inside of the climate. So in this example, we really talk about if we want to grow a cactus and we're in New York in the winter, those conditions, no matter how bad we might want that cactus to grow, it's difficult. It won't happen. And in fact, it can get frustrating. But what are the components of a climate that will grow a cactus? It's dry and it's heat. So in the desert in Arizona, a cactus has a much better chance. Well, what are those qualities of the environment that a family needs to grow some special recovery? Those are usually ways of being, things like loving, courageous, honest, compassionate. When those things are present, there's a better opportunity for the thing that we want to grow inside of it, and what we want to grow happens. Because on the converse, if it is wanting to grow a special recovery, but there's anger and resentment and envy and judgment, if those things are present, no matter how bad we want recovery to happen, it's not going to happen. So a commitment and vision statement has two things. The first part of it is a commitment to a way of being. And the second part of it is the desired outcome. So it might be, we, the Smith family, are committed to being loving, compassionate, caring, courageous, and honest, so that our family can recover. Billy can find meaningful recovery and abstinence and sobriety, that our relationships can be restored to a very, very good place, and so on. So the way of being, commitment, creates the vision. So next, let's talk about education. So education, obviously, a crucial for creating or accomplishing something meaningful in recovery. What is education? Where does it come from? So attending meetings and seeking programming from organizations like NACoA, reading recommended materials about addiction and recovery, talking to others who have achieved what you want, and seeking counsel from professionals experienced in addiction recovery. So, by the way, education isn't change, but education is a really important foundation to creating and realizing that path. So a clear plan. Develop a specific, measurable, and non-negotiable plan. When actions are followed through inconsistently over time, they create an environment conducive to recovery. Another analogy. So the analogy of weight loss is that if somebody's goal, vision, is to lose weight, and their commitment is going to be doing the types of things that lose weight. So that could be regular exercise, that could be limiting calories to a little bit less than what's burned. It might be specifics like not having sugary products or flour-based products or fried foods. So if those behaviors happen, then the outcome happens. I think recovery is really very much like that. There are components to recovery. There are components to wellness and components to self-help that, when followed, equal a meaningful recovery. So what are those things? Those are, recovery-related activities, regular meetings, therapy, recovery groups. That might be things related to self-care, adequate sleep, proper nutrition, exercise, mindfulness. And when we talk about creating a specific plan, it is looking at putting something in writing for yourself that says, hey, by the way, this is something that I'm going to do in this frequency. And it is more important than just about anything else. Because when the importance and the value is placed on a commitment, the ability to be commitment driven and follow through on that allows for that plan to be built. And every activity that follows through on a commitment is great for that activity. And it also is great for the self-esteem of your own recovery and builds. Accountability. With a clear vision and plan, accountability ensures consistent action and progress. Accountability can perpetually measure our actions versus our intentions. Listen, for a long time, I was somebody who would have loved to have been judged by my intentions, but my actions weren't consistent. And being congruent, actions, intentions, is crucial to this plan. So create communication agreement with an accountability buddy, a sponsor, a mentor, a trusted confidant. Be specific about what those commitments are and be specific about the expectations of communication. Celebrate victories, big and small. It's awesome to be able to acknowledge yourself, to be able to feel what it's like to follow through on commitments. And then be neutral. When things don't happen the way that they're planned, or that commitment, no matter what it is, isn't followed through on, no beat up stick. Neutral is the facts. Neutral is the ability to look at the facts to recognize why something didn't happen. You know, if I'm committed to waking up early to meditate and work out, and the clock rings and somehow I keep pressing snooze, and I end up not working out. If I beat myself up, if I become judgmental of myself, it's a cycle that creates some shame. Neutral says, hey, I didn't wake up. I didn't follow through on what I said. What got in the way? Well, maybe what got in the way is I stayed up watching too much TV the night before and I didn't get enough sleep. I can make a new commitment. I am committed to getting up in the morning to do my meditation and workout. And I'm also committed to making the decisions to get the proper amount of sleep so I can make that happen. And you recommit to the goal when a setback occurs. It's progress, not perfection. So in summary, to kind of bring this all together, I think there's a formula: vision and commitment, plus education, plus a good plan, plus accountability equals a meaningful recovery. Think about this bank account. Every action that supports the vision and the commitments is like a deposit, big or small. And every action incongruent with the recovery goals is a withdrawal. So my wish for you is a recovery journey and recovery bank account that is rich and abundant. And I want to just close with this last piece here. This is very practical information. And inside of this, or I'm sorry, not inside of this, but holding this is also a bigger piece. And I think that bigger piece is around whatever anybody calls their spiritual journey. There is an understanding for me that has been really helpful along the way that there is a power that's greater than myself, that my humility to that power, my openness to what's possible from that place, and my conscious awareness that I bring all to everything that I do with this, that these are the action steps that we've talked about inside, and it is held with a bigger piece in the universe. So I'm grateful at the opportunity to be able to share this information. I hope that somebody heard something that was valuable and useful as we went along. And again, I thank you for the opportunity to share. It is my honor to be able to support an organization like NACoA and the wonderful people that run this organization, and have a great day.